use the disabled. All of you make excuses why the most victimized people in the country must deserve it. They must deserve it. They must deserve it because they're crazy. They're crazy, so it must be okay to ignore any and all evidence. They're crazy, so it must be okay to beat them up. They're crazy, so it must be okay to lie to them or to look the other way. Fuck you. Fuck the whole goddamn country. Matter of fact, fuck the whole planet. When you've got people who will literally make excuses for police officers to murder you, yes, you should have the right to fucking kill the son of a bitch. Absolutely. At this point in time, the American people need to be armed, not from foreign invasion, but from your own government and your own people. The American people will watch your loved ones get murdered. They will watch you get murdered. They will watch you get raped. They will watch you get beaten, but they won't give a shit. If the media tells them to care about Elijah McClain, they care about Elijah McClain. If the media tells them to care about Natalie Bollinger, they care about Natalie Bollinger. When the media tells them I'm a bad guy without bothering to look, what do? You harm an innocent man because you think it's okay. You harm me until I have to do desperate things. You fucking lie at me and lie to me and fucking steal my goddamn resources. And then you play fucking victim. Fuck you! None of these people are gonna do their fucking jobs because they hate the homeless same as you. You say, oh, not all cops are bad. Yes! You cannot be a cop in the United States unless you are a horrible, excuse-free human being. Because all cops support bad cops. All of them. No, you're not my friends. You don't give two shits about me. You fucking took advantage of me. You wasted my fucking time. You lied to me and gave me empty fucking promises. You knew that I couldn't protect myself or defend myself. And what did you do? You took advantage of that. That's not fucking okay. But then again, even though these things are felonious, you get away with them. Why? Because you call me mentally ill. And magically it's okay, or you pretend that I'm a liar. Meanwhile, the evidence shows that I told the truth. But you know what? That doesn't matter, does it? Because no one's going to help me put it in court. I don't matter enough to you. My tits aren't big enough. My vagina isn't used enough. I'm not short enough or young enough. Yes, if you support the United States government or the police, you are my enemy. You have chosen the wrong path. You've chosen the wrong side. Because you've chosen sides without taking a look, without listening. There's one entire side that never gets heard, and that's the homeless side. We're not heard by the courts. We don't matter. We're not heard by any of these so-called affirmative action or equal rights places. We don't matter. We're the go-to. Oh, black people are being victimized. It must be homeless people's fault. Really? It's homeless people's fault that the cops beat you down? No? Whose fault is it the cops beat you down? How about if I tell you, all you black people who are beaten up by the cops, that you deserved it, the way that you tell us? How does that feel? How does that make you feel? Is that okay to do to you? To tell you you deserve to get beaten up by the cops because, well, wives' tales. Oh, yeah, everybody in America knows. We know that black people are all running around shooting each other with full auto machine guns. We know every black person is a gun-toting, full-auto machine gun eating. Rah, 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 rah. Jesus fucking Christ. And then we, the American people, get told, "Oh, you're horrible people for selling that narrative." Who the fuck is selling that narrative? Spike Lee. Jesus fuck. I mean, we got a choice between Spike Lee making all black folks out to be gun-toting assholes, or we got basketball wives trying to teach us that, well, rich black folks are all idiots. Where's the reality TV show about homelessness? Ain't no such thing as reality TV. It's about ratings. A lot of people, they didn't want their words being twisted. Well, the fact is, your words were twisted. You shouldn't have said them. You shouldn't have told me those things if they were not true. If they were true, you should have come forward in court. Rather than come forward in court, people wanted to victimize the shit out of me, knowing I couldn't take care of myself, knowing I couldn't defend myself, knowing that I have to have an advocate or a guardian, and I haven't had one. I had people that were supposed to, people who it's literally their job to do so, but did they? No, they fucking didn't. They didn't even try, and they weren't going to try without someone there who actually cared. Without my little sister giving a shit, or my mom giving a shit, or my dad giving a shit, but they didn't give a shit, did they? No, they didn't. My dad, shit, almost a year after Natalie's death is when he finally pretended that he gave a shit. When I got to his house, though, that all went down the tubes. It's, I gotta do what he wants, when he wants, or I'm a horrible person. What he wants, when he wants, or I'm a horrible person. What he wants, when he wants, or I'm a horrible person. And no matter what, that's how it is. I have to do what you want, when you want, or you treat me like shit. That is not help. I have to listen to you telling me about all of your personal problems. That is not help. When you use those personal problems as your excuse not to tell the truth about what you know, you fucked up, not me. If you're going to tell me those things, I'm going to go fucking public with it. You had the chance to do the right thing. You had the chance. You fucking blew it. You screwed up. But then again, it's not you who is paying the consequences of your cowardice, is it? No, it's me. You guys say don't live in the past. You know what? You go ahead and tell that to the people in Germany between World War I and World War II. You know what it took to bring them back to a somewhat decent economy? War! Same as the rest of Europe. Europe wanted to impose crippling sanctions on the German people. And of course, does that validate everything that the Nazis did? No, it fucking doesn't. But how are people going to recover from a situation like that when, well, they don't have the means? The German people are not the ones who waged that war. Matter of fact, the German people are the ones who ended it. If it hadn't been for the German people at the end of World War I saying we're done with this and running their, I suppose we call him an emperor. He's not really a king. But the thing is, he was run out of the country by his own people. We looked away when they did what they wanted to Poland and to many other countries. We looked away. When World War II came about, we looked away, and we just kept on looking away. We knew there was an issue, but we just kept on looking away. Who is it that saw that war coming? The United States. The United States had an infrastructure for war put into place before there was a war. The British people did not. What we're dealing with now is that we've adopted the Nazi mindset. The homeless are not human. The disabled are not human. That's the same mindset the Nazis had, and people, man, they want to get furious. Kind of like the ones who want to call me a hypocrite. The ones who want to call me a hypocrite when they say, oh, well, what they did isn't illegal, or, oh, well, it's not wrong for them to do that. Well, it's sure wrong if I do it. It's sure illegal if I do it. I didn't do what I did out of a matter of hypocrisy or to be a hypocrite. I did it to show that the rules were different for me. That all of you change the rules when it comes to me. Oh, sure, it's wrong to do these things, but it's okay to do them to me. It's wrong to take advantage of disabled people unless it's shown. It's wrong to deny a person the right to face their accusers unless it's shown. You call somebody mentally ill, they're not a human anymore. You call them homeless, they're not a human anymore. And the courts play on this because you guys are fucking racist assholes. Yes, I do have to consider homeless people to be a race of their own. We are the superior race. We are the ones who will survive while you guys are dependent upon store-bought Twinkies. Meanwhile, we will survive because we know what it is to survive in a situation in a country that doesn't like you. Every single homeless person is a refugee behind enemy lines. There is nowhere for us to go. Are we supposed to march out into the ocean? We can't harvest any of these resources. Companies can destroy forests, entire forests. But we can't harvest enough resources for our own basic survival. We're not allowed. The law is no measure at all for morality. Just like Christianity is no measure for the decency of religious people. Here in America, we tend to determine right and wrong based on looks and money. If you have enough money, like Johnny Depp, to go suing people, then you're good to go. If you don't have any money, people know it. They know they can do whatever they want to you and get away with it. You think the cops go trying to fuck with Johnny Depp? No, they don't. Why would they? How many female cops would become starstruck if they met Johnny Depp? When it comes to giving in to horrible shit like that, it turns out that women are more likely, far more likely to give in. Especially in positions of power. Look at the number of female teachers being arrested for molesting children versus the number of male teachers arrested for molesting children. What are those male teachers that get arrested and lose their jobs? What are they doing most of the time? They're looking it up on the internet. They're not having sex with students. They're looking stuff up on the internet. And that's what they get in trouble for, is looking stuff up on the internet. What do the female teachers get in trouble for? Actually engaging in sexual activities with minors. A lot of the women I know, well, when I first met them, I didn't like them. And now that they're parents, they say things like, well, I hope my son never encounters a woman like me. Or I hope my son never dates somebody like me. Why is it that these women don't want their sons dating someone like them? Because they weren't fucking good people. They twisted, manipulated, and warped and contorted every goddamn thing to their own advantage. Facebook and I have a very non-functional relationship. It's very much like a relationship between a parent that molests you and the child needing to be heard. Except I'm not a child, am I? But you're going to treat me like a child, using the mentally ill tag to pretend like I'm schizophrenic. Meanwhile, I'm not allowed. I go to all these professionals I'm supposed to go to who say it's not their job. Well, it actually is. Women need to be held accountable, same as men. Men being held accountable for women's decisions and women's actions and the horrible things that come from that, that's not okay. It's not okay to blame me for everything that Natalie and her fucking friends did to me. That's not okay. It's not okay to treat me like a stalker for asking for help. When she asked for help, what did she ask for help with? Did her friends start off threatening and harassing and intimidating me, or did they start off going to the cops? No, they started off fucking with their bullshit. I mean, that whole thing in Virginia, I was glad when Natalie's mom called the cops in that situation because I was fucking stuck in the middle of the road and dehydrated as all fuck with a broken goddamn phone. What the fuck was I gonna do? But then again, let me tell you about a guy here with 2 dogs. This guy, he wants to scream about chimos while he's panhandling. And sing songs nonstop about chimos. And when you ask him to stop, he gets extra pushy. Kind of like that racist old guy. You ask him to stop calling you the N-word, and what does he do? Calls you the N-word over and over and over and over. Speaking of the old guy, he was parked right over there yesterday. Now, of course, with that feller with the 2 dogs, he's a little bit different. But of course, his excuse for not putting forth any actual effort, his excuse for just bitching, whining, moaning, complaining, and singing his stupid songs, often just to annoy other homeless people. There ain't no reason for it. There's not. You're getting us fucking killed. With him, his excuse is, oh, well, George Floyd, look at all that. And that's all that stuff that it took to get those officers. That's right, all that it took. It did take a lot, didn't it? It took actual fucking effort, didn't it? You know why the United States fucking sucks? Because you guys bitch, but you make no effort. My situation could have been shown in court and could have prevented no less than 24 deaths. There are also at least 24 either officers or public officials involved in this situation over Natalie Bollinger who have been convicted of the things I told you they were doing. But you didn't listen when they happened to me. So those people, my predators, just like always, when you don't listen to me, they get to do these things to others. Those others are all people that would not have been victimized if I had been heard when it happened to me first. Then, of course, there's the misleading. This is why you need to record everything. There's a lady that works down at the Astro, and she says that this tow truck company was supposed to help out Dean and blah, 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 and that they were going to provide him with a place for his vehicle. No, 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 no. I've talked to at least 3 other homeless people here who were given the same deal that Dean was. You know what that deal ended up being? It ended up being that that guy does tow your truck. He does put it in a space, but it's not for you. It's a space on his lot. He wants the money from towing the vehicle. He wants the vehicle for the salvage. He wants it. Now that lady at the Astro, if she was to be subpoenaed to court over whether or not that guy actually said that, who did she hear it from? Did that tow truck company owner himself tell her that he was going to do that? Is she going to make a big stink if that man, instead of keeping his word, takes advantage of another homeless person? Being as this tow truck company has a history of doing this to homeless people, exactly the same situation that happened with Dean, except this is a different tow truck company. So this lady at Astro is of the opinion that it's Dean. It's not anybody but Dean. Dean is the reason that that got towed. Dean should have known. Dean this and Dean that. No, Dean should not have known all that shit. Dean barely knows what the fuck is going on most of the time. Dean should not have called that other tow truck company. If it even registered to him at that point in time to do so, it wouldn't have done any good. The reason for this is because that tow truck company doesn't help out the homeless. They lie so they can get the commission. It's stupid. If you as a homeless person want to get your vehicle out, you're fucked. And then you're stranded. And everybody tells you, oh, well, why don't you just move? Why don't you just move? Why don't you just move? People come on and they want to listen to half of every sentence and then come up with these magical ideas like I'm too retarded in 6 goddamn years to figure out that moving away from the situation is probably a good fucking idea. I moved 1,700 miles to get away from Natalie Bollinger and her fucking family. You want to tell me about moving after that? After I have moved over 40 times since then. Closer to 50 now. And then we got these autism advocate places that don't advocate. They don't do shit. Why don't they do shit? Why is it that when a disabled person, especially a disabled homeless male, is victimized, you guys jump on him like it's fucking okay? You won't even look at the fucking evidence. You just jump on him. Natalie and her entire family belong in fucking prison. But it's fine because I don't fucking matter. Meanwhile, Facebook continues to do what they can to destroy evidence. You're not people. You're not human beings. Decent human beings would not turn a blind eye to this. Decent human beings, instead of making excuses for the extermination of the Jews, good people would do something to stop the extermination of the Jews. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.